Hey everybody, Diva LaVida here. We have an incredible episode for you, and I know it looks like a real big one, but don't worry, don't be afraid. It's so much fun. Seriously, there's a meal, there's a cocktail, there's singing. You know how much I love a cocktail, friends. Enjoy! Hey there everybody! My name is Diva LaVida. Welcome to Scantily Clad in the Kitchen. I am here today with my very special guest,
Allie Dente. Pleasure to meet you.
Yay! I think this is the first time I've had a guest on whose name is also a food pun.
Yes.
So thank you so much for being here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Do you want to tell us a little about yourself before we start cooking?
Sure. My name is Allie Dente because I love carbs a little bit too much. My favorite quote in the whole world is a Sophia Loren quote where she's in this cool bathing suit and she says, "Everything you see here I owe to spaghetti."
Yes!
It's my life motto. So I just started doing burlesque back in April. Relatively new. Very exciting.
A burlesque baby!
I know, a little baby.
Oh!
Made my debut with Crescent Moon Nerdlesque.
Nice.
Awesome company.
Excellent.
Friends, and sparkles ever since.
Yay!
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, thank you again for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
What are we making today?
Okay, so I have been trying to fit in my corsets a little better. So I've been finding some carb substitutes. And you're like, eating healthy. But I found some really delicious recipes that still allow you to eat things like cheese, which I love. So we're making a creamy cauliflower mac and cheese. So it's totally keto friendly. You can make it with regular chorizo if you eat meat, or soy chorizo if you don't eat meat. You can also make it with like almond flour and almond milk if you want to be even more diet friendly.
Yeah.
But,
We're going full dairy today.
Yeah, because I like dairy a lot.
Yeah.
So.
And our diet allows for dairy, so we're going for it.
Doing it. So first order of business, we got this sexy beast.
There's fucking cauliflower.
Isn't she beautiful?
Yeah, yes,
Chop her into pieces.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Okay, so I will admit, when I eat cauliflower at home, I have a very difficult time breaking this down. So,
You just gotta rip it.
Teach me how to do
You literally
this.
just gotta rip it.
Okay. That's it?
That's literally it. You rip the main ones off on the outside, just to kind of get them out of the way. And the thing I found with this recipe too is that boiling the cauliflower kind of shrinks it down a little bit. So the recipe is like cut it into small florets, because that's the fancy word for like the little head of the florets.
I feel like there's a dick joke in there somewhere.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
There's a dick joke in there.
Jokes.
So I cut them a little bigger because they tend to cook down a little bit. Whoop,
Yep.
in the boiling water anyway.
This is a violent recipe already.
It is, I know. That's just a bit of coffee this morning. Gotta get my aggression out somehow. So once you get all the leaves off on the outside, it's pretty simple. It's just, I usually try and break it off if I can, but I don't know if I'm strong enough to do that.
That's possible.
Sometimes, but this looks like a particularly stubborn cauliflower.
This is already so much cleaner than any of my experiences at home. Usually I have bits of cauliflower just strewn everywhere.
Oh, that'll happen.
Yeah.
That'll still happen.
Okay.
It's impossible to cook with cauliflower and not get it everywhere. Unless you get that really nice bag from Trader Joe's that's like pre-riced cauliflower in perfect little identical sized granules.
I don't know how to do it.
I don't know.
This is like the
Witchcraft.
glitter of vegetables right here.
Yeah, it really is. That and sweet corn.
Oh yeah. Delicious sweet corn. For another time.
Just cutting out the bottom so we can actually get to the...
Oh, so really getting all that core out of there.
I was watching that movie Julie and Julia.
I love that movie.
Yeah, but they were talking in that movie about how to hold a knife properly, and they like put your one finger here and your other finger here, and you and the knife are one.
Yeah.
I've been like trying to hold my knife properly ever since. So I don't cut my fingers off.
Do not cut your fingers off. Not today, Satan. Not today.
Absolutely not.
I remember trying to be someone, I think my mom trying to teach me how to do that when I was young, and I just felt like I was putting so much pressure in my finger and not from my arm that it never worked for me.
The trick is to not put your finger on top of the blade, because then you feel like you have to brace it from underneath with your finger, and that's when you cut yourself. So the dude in the movie, and I'm sure if a movie tells me so, it must be true.
Then it's fine. It's absolutely accurate.
He said to put one finger on one side of the blade and the other finger on the other side of the blade, so it's literally like a finger.
Yeah,
this is
an
my pointer
extension
finger
of
now.
the
Yeah,
hand.
it's got robot hands.
Mm.
So it comes off in like neat little sections here. You can see like little baby trees in a cauliflower forest. So I typically just cut off and cut them into smaller chunks once these are all off. But
This is already a more advanced form of cutting cauliflower than I have seen before.
well, I've been trying to make it a lot recently because it's really good for meal prep because for one person, a whole head of cauliflower is a lot of food.
Yeah. This looks so delicate and neat.
Cauliflower.
It's fantastic. I'm going to get these greens out of your way. Oh no.
Oh no!
Everything's fine. Nothing to see here.
Move along.
It's my reach.
How dare you?
I just.
So
I also.
also.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, you're fine. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I have a distinct memory of when I was a child of me like reaching towards the cutting board while my mother was chopping something and she was like, "No!" And rightfully so. I was about to get my hand cut off.
If you want it more of like almost like a creamy mash, you can cut the pieces a lot smaller, but I kind of like distinct florets because cauliflower, if you boil it too long, can get mushy really fast.
Mhm.
And then I mean, cheesy cauliflower mashed potatoes is also delicious,
Sure.
but I like it to have a little more texture, so I usually cut the pieces a little bigger, but that's kind of purely personal preference.
Okay. So friends at home, you try out this recipe. Let us know how it works for you, please.
That's delicious.
Yes?
Yeah.
Oh, good. We got a good cauliflower.
Yeah, that's a good one. I tested it for science.
Excellent. How did you stumble upon this particular recipe?
So I did the Chicago Triathlon back at the end of August.
What?
Yeah. For some reason.
It is one of my bucket list goals to do a triathlon.
It was so hard.
Yes?
But so fun. So the Chicago one, you swim Monroe Harbor, which is just south of Navy Pier, and
Okay.
then you bike. Well, there's different courses too. There's 5 different courses. There's a really short one, and then the standard one, then the Olympic distance one, and then the half and full Ironmans. So I did the standard distance one because I don't know. And you then you bike. I don't know. It's all a blur. You bike basically from Maggie Daly Park all the way to Hollywood at the end of Lakeshore Drive, then all the way back.
Oh, shit.
What I didn't realize, Lakeshore Drive is full of hills because there are bridges.
Yeah.
What I tell you, my bun was getting into this. And then the run is like all the way down past the Shed Aquarium and back.
Damn.
So I was like, if I'm gonna do that, I need to not be eating as much bread as I am right
See,
now.
I would have gone the exact opposite and been like, this is my excuse to carbo load literally every day.
Yeah. Closer to the race I did that, but I was like, I need to be eating healthier if I'm gonna actually like get my body to be able to do this. So I guess next we can start grating the cheese if you want.
Oh, okay.
Takes a lot of elbow grease.
Okay. Real good with this hand motion.
This
Jokes.
is
I
I just got here for that. We have 2 kinds of cheese.
Ooh.
2 whole kinds of cheese. So we'll grate all of this.
This is the cheddar.
This is a sharp cheddar that is, oh my god, it smells so good. I'm just gonna smell the cheese for a while. It smells so good.
Take a moment.
And some delicious Parmesan. Definitely all of this. I can do that. If you want to do maybe like half of this one,
Okay.
we can also like, I don't think we need to let the rind soak. Sometimes it's fun to let Parmesan rind soak because it's a nice little bit of added extra flavor.
Oh.
Like if you make a soup and you let the Parmesan rind soak in your soup, so good.
I did not know this.
Yeah. Well, I guess there's one grater, but we'll be fine.
Yeah. Should I start boiling water while we?
Oh, that's a good
do
idea.
this? Okay. Cool. I'm just gonna reach behind him.
No, you're fine.
Get our giant pot over here.
What I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna cut this cheese in half and then grate it. So it doesn't fall in half in my hand. Ooh, it's cheesy and little caramel.
Is that enough water?
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Do we need to salt this water at all?
I was just gonna say that. I used to not really believe in salting water when I was a foolish young child. But then I salted the water before I made this. And
And it makes a difference?
slightly flavored cauliflower is much better than bland cauliflower. It's true.
Okay, dump some salt in there.
Yeah, that'll do it. That might actually be enough.
Really?
Maybe.
Okay.
Well, we can always grate more and add more if we want it to be more cheesy too. It depends on how thick you want the cheese sauce to be because that's kind of personal taste too, is just whether you like a really thick, creamy cheese sauce or if you want something light to like just barely coat the cauliflower.
Okay.
So I don't know how you like your mac and cheese.
I feel like I like a thick sauce on a strong head of cauliflower.
And I keep grating this.
I'm gonna find the perfect dick joke in here. I just keep workshopping it.
Well, there's some good dick jokes in the songs we're gonna sing.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
Oh my god, this is so much cheese.
I don't even know. I don't have a point of reference as to what is a lot of cheese.
Again, it's really personal preference on how much cheese you want. I tend to make a lot of cheese sauce, just because if you are eating it, you're like, damn, I want this to be cheesier. Here, have this cheese.
Oh, thank you.
We'll just eat this last bit.
But you gotta make sure the ingredients are just right, right?
Yeah. For science. Organically.
Yep. Now we know. This cheese is good.
It is good. Am I sure? Should I check it again? Yeah. Okay.
Just in case.
And you can really do this with any cheese that you want to. It calls for sharp cheddar and Parmesan, but you could do it if you wanted to do like a southwestern kind of flair. You could use pepper jack.
Pepper jack.
You could do like a UK version with like Cotswold and all kinds of stuff.
I assume it just has to be sort of a hard cheese that can melt well.
It could be softer. I mean, Irish cheddar is fairly soft as far as cheeses go, but
But not like a brie. Like, that'd be too soft, right?
brie just kind of sticks together in a lump.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, it's good for baking, but it's gooey and stringy and it sticks together. You want something that'll like melt well. Like, don't use Gouda. Whatever you do, don't use Gouda.
Do you know this from personal experience?
Yes. Tried to make a Gouda mac and cheese once, and it just didn't fully melt. So it was like half melted cheese.
Oh.
You know when you microwave something with cheese on it and the cheese doesn't melt all the way?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that.
Oh. Then it feels like, the dish is not as it should be. The cheese is no longer what it should be.
There's also a joke in what I'm doing right now.
Oh yeah. Can't wait to have it in my mouth.
In my face hole. We could prep garlic.
Let's do the garlic.
Let's prep garlic. Don't know what your rule about garlic is. Like, if a recipe says put in like 1 or 2 cloves of garlic, you're like, oh no. And you put in like 6 cloves of garlic.
I usually put in this much garlic. The whole thing.
Yeah.
So.
That's the good answer.
Yeah?
That's the best answer.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Just for myself, I feel like I've burned off all of my taste buds very early in my life. So now I want all the flavor all the time.
I think that's why we don't mind salt so much, because you're like, it's gotta be, yeah.
I want lots of salt, I want lots of heat.
Have you seen that Netflix show, The Salt, Fat, Acid, Heat?
I tried to watch it. It wasn't for me.
That's fair.
Like, I thought it was lovely, but I was like, I'm not.
That scene where they were making pesto, though, was very erotic.
Oh,
they were like,
I'll have to go back and watch that.
This was like the first episode, too. They were like, let me pound this pesto in a mortar and pestle in slow motion. I was like, oh. Very attractive pesto. Jesus.
Clearly, I started with the wrong episode.
I think it's in like the first episode.
I might have watched them out of order. It was one of those, like, everyone says this is great. Just boop, 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 boop.
They were making focaccia bread, and she's like, let me knead this with my fingers.
Maybe I was watching a completely different show.
I don't know, I think food is sexy.
That's true. It's part of the premise of the show.
Yeah.
Yes, I like this with the fingers on top.
I also don't mind, like, I usually do a fairly rough chop. I don't mind big pieces of garlic, just because garlic tastes good.
Now we're gonna put our raw cauliflower into this salted boiling water. Ah!
I'm leaving you.
I probably
That'll work.
could have done that in a less messy way.
Lightly salted, so that way it'll flavor it just a little bit. Because really, when I first made this recipe, I didn't add any extra salt other than the stuff that I put. I'm surprised that I didn't need to, but I didn't add any extra salt other than the stuff that I boiled it in. And that only needs to boil for like 4 to 5 minutes.
Okay.
So while we're doing that, we could definitely do the chorizo. No, I love soy chorizo. It tastes almost exactly the same as the real stuff, and it's a lot cheaper. So I mean, it looks so good already.
Ooh, it's very it's perky within the pot. The little florets are there right at the top, floating there on the bubbles.
Your boobs are the salt shakers.
Ha! So you want this pan to be pretty hot. Ooh, it's sizzling.
I'm gonna put just a teeny little bit of oil in there.
Okay.
It's gonna be really sexy. Are you ready for this? Just to deglaze the pan is my fancy food word. And again, if you want to be a little more diet friendly or you have dietary restrictions, you can use olive oil to cook it. Chorizo doesn't really need a whole lot of oil because it's a very greasy sausage. If you want to cook it in a little bit of oil, sometimes the soy stuff can be a little bit dry. You can cook it in coconut oil if you're trying to be more diet friendly, or just olive oil works fine too.
I've got that. Yep. Feel that sexy meatiness in there. Oh my.
You can also use, like, I make this with chorizo. The recipe technically called for, like, crumbled sausage, like Italian sausage. But I was like, no, I'm using sharp cheddar cheese. I need, like, a sharp sausage to go with it. And chorizo seemed like the perfect cost-effective option. Sexy. If you want to give that a little stir with the non-stick spatula.
Spatula action.
Spatula action. That'd be a good performer name.
Spatula action. Please welcome to the stage, Spatula action.
She's a little pan flip.
I like that sound of things that are sizzling. It's one of my favorite things.
Yeah. Cross arms here.
Ooh.
Tag team that thing scoot around you.
Is it important to keep this chorizo moving, or kind of?
I think
sit?
so.
Yes,
Because
move around. Yeah.
yeah. You can let it sit a little bit, but it cooks very quickly, as you can see.
Yeah. It's not the greatest of non-stick pans.
No, you're fine. You can also put in more oil to deglaze the bottom a little bit.
Yeah.
Too much and it gets greasy quickly. Because it's such small particles, so it cooks really quickly. It's also, I think, at least for me, really hard to tell when chorizo's done.
I legit don't know when chorizo is done, so.
I always overcook it, but I also don't mind, like, crispy chorizo. It says 4 to 6 minutes.
Oh, that seems like a long time.
So roughly, the chorizo should be done probably around the same time the cauliflower is done, and we can make the sauce while they're both draining.
Yay! How do you know when the cauliflower is done?
It's usually only about 4 to 5 minutes. You can start to see it turning slightly yellow. Also, when it's fork tender. So if you have a fork or a knife, so if I pull out a piece of this cauliflower, I'll just poke it with the point of the knife a little bit. That's pretty tender already. Like, I'm gonna say like 1 or 2 more minutes. Like if it goes gently into it. Yeah, actually that's pretty tender. I should probably take that off now.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna add a little olive oil in there too, just to kind of more olive oil.
Maybe?
Soy chorizo is typically a little drier than regular chorizo because it doesn't release the same amount of like oils in it that regular meat has. So sometimes it takes a little extra moisture to get going.
Yeah! You gotta lube up that chorizo.
Lube is important for everyday life. It really is.
It's gonna make everything more yummy. Wow, this really does smell so good already.
There's a version of that Sense and Sensibility movie. Pull out my Jane Austen nerd card here. where Alan Rickman is playing Colonel Brandon, and he leans over to this little girl, and she asks him, "What in the East Indies like, Colonel?" And he says, "The air is full of spices." That's what this room smells like right now. Not Alan Rickman, but the spices.
Although I would be fine with Alan Rickman, that would do.
Works for me?
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab the spatula and taste it
Yeah.
and see if it's done. It looks done, but
Be careful.
it's so hot.
What do you think?
I think that's done.
Yeah?
You got a plate ready with a paper towel and drain that. Ooh, the steam rising.
Oh, it's beautiful. So steamy.
We're gonna make the sauce in that same pan.
What's that, like a tablespoon to a tablespoon?
Yeah, this is roughly what a tablespoon of butter looks like. I would say a tablespoon's probably like 1/2 inch thick, maybe 1/3 of an inch. But
Ooh, yeah.
ooh, fancy.
Ah.
Now all the way around town.
So do we need the butter to be completely melted before we continue?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You know what? Just to deglaze the pan, some of these bits, I'm gonna put another tablespoon in.
We're going extra butter.
Also, because like the reason I sometimes don't put more butter in it, because chorizo is kind of greasy on its own. But since this chorizo is not as greasy because it's the soy stuff, don't worry about that as much.
More butter.
Honestly, butter and cheese. It's all you need out of life.
We're gonna have to change our quotes to bawdy by butter and cheese.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. Garlic butter.
And garlic really only needs to cook for like 30 seconds to a minute before it's like properly fragrant and tender, because otherwise the garlic starts to burn. So
I've burnt a lot of garlic in my day.
it's butter and garlic. Ooh, I wonder if you could do like an Italian version of this. If you use like a little white wine with it and garlic and like like mozzarella and parmesan.
Ooh.
Bet you could.
So it's a very versatile recipe.
Oh, absolutely. That's one of the things I love about it. It's time friendly, it's cost effective, and it's incredibly versatile for all different diets and taste preferences. I've really only ever used all-purpose flour or almond flour, but you could really use pretty much any kind of flour. You could even use cornstarch in a pinch if you're out of flour.
Okay.
It doesn't melt quite the same way, but
It'll get the job done.
now it's gonna look really grainy at first, but you add the cream, and this is the trick, is adding the cream very little by little by little,
Okay.
because otherwise it won't. The flour just kind of dissipates into the butter there.
Yeah. I've seen people make roux, like on the TV, on the other cooking shows, what have you, and it always feels like complicated and scary.
Really not. The thing is people always add the liquid to it too fast. It's just the right ratio of, because if you add it all at once, it just won't combine right. You just have to add it little by little.
Okay.
Kind of like putting on lashes. You can't just add a shitload of glue all at once, because then it'll take 20 minutes to dry.
And then they just fall off your face. Fun fact.
Yeah. The one science thing I do know about this is that the bubbling here in the butter is the milk solids separating from the actual butter itself, which is what affects the adding of the cream.
Ooh.
So when you need butter for your popcorn, but you know when you pour butter in your popcorn it makes it soggy? You can literally melt butter in a pan and scoop all the foamy shit off the top and pour what's left, the clarified butter, onto your popcorn, and it doesn't make it soggy. Pro tips! Alright, so we've got some heavy whipping cream.
Whipping cream.
So you just add this little by little. Like seriously.
Oh,
just
that's
that
very little. Okay.
Otherwise it won't combine correctly. Sorry, I'm also not ambidextrous, so.
Cheese sauce is easier with a buddy.
You can put this cheese sauce literally in anything. This cheese sauce is just a good one to have in your back pocket because you can make it extra thick and almost make it into like a queso.
You're
Magic
speaking my
words.
language. Oh my goodness.
I love queso.
Here I've been buying it at the store. Could have been making it myself.
Like a peasant.
Gah.
Yeah, we might need to make more because this is need to add more cream than I thought we would.
I mean, this
Because the cheese still has
smells
to melt into this.
amazing already. Like
Butter,
butter and
garlic.
garlic and
Just like that.
Yep. That's like gooey and greasy. Two of my favorite things.
So right now it's a pretty thick sauce. You can always add more cream or even a little bit of cold water to loosen it up, or cool water, I should say. See, it's a little bit greasy now because of the butter, but
Yeah.
hopefully. Also, like, it doesn't really matter if your cheese sauce ends being a little bit greasier than you meant it to, because once you toss it over the cauliflower, you won't really notice anyway because it's just coating florets.
If I did want to put this on a pasta, like a regular
I've done
elbow
that.
mac,
I've done that.
it still works?
Oh yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Oh yeah. So I'm gonna put the mustard on, and I'm gonna eyeball how much mustard we need because it's not super important how much you put in.
Okay. No, I neglected to get a full Dijon. I got a spicy brown,
Totally works.
which I think is pretty delicious myself.
Put about that much in.
Oh, it's just a little splurge, a little splurge with mustard in there.
Then we got some paprika.
What is paprika?
It's a good question.
Is it a plant that is then ground into a powder?
I believe so.
Okay.
I'm gonna pretend I know the answer to that. This just gives it a nice little bit of color.
Yeah.
Also a nice little extra just a teeny little bit of heat to it. So this theoretically should be a liquid.
Okay.
But we can also add more stuff to it. A little bit of black pepper.
Some of those pepper grinders are just like, I assume seasoning is coming out with this.
We add our cheese!
And the cheese! Got so much cheese going in here.
Turn the heat down just a little bit.
I'm not sure it goes any lower than
Oh,
that.
no, it'll be fine then. As the cheese melts, it should help with the consistency too, as it melts and makes it. It's a little greasy right now, but it's very greasy right now.
Oh, how did that happen?
Probably the chorizo. Oh, that's so sexy. Sexy parmesan.
We still have probably another handful of cheddar on the board there if we need it.
Well, I honestly think we could have enough sauce right here for the
Yeah.
amount of cauliflower we have.
Awesome.
So we are ready. Take the whisk out of here. Molten cheese everywhere.
You're gonna have a cheese all over your stovetop. It's gonna be fine.
Clean. Be great.
It's gonna be yummy.
So, how much cheese we want in here. Gonna be super sexy.
Oh yeah. Cheese is sauce.
Put about half of it on there and see what we got left. Okay, stir this all up, toss it over the cauliflower. Screw it.
Ha!
It's all of it. Be great. I like more cheese. I don't know about you, but I like more cheese.
Oh yes.
So we're just tossing it up here. It's getting the cauliflower nice and coated.
Got a real squishy sound.
Super squish. So squish. Oh, that was just the right amount of sauce. Look at
Yes.
that.
It's perfect.
So, put this on a plate, and then you put a bunch of chorizo on top of it, and a little chives on top of that, and you're all good to go.
I can't wait. I'm very hungry now. It looks incredible.
Ta-da!
This smells legit fancy.
It's just cauliflower and cheese.
Well, excellent. Let's find some forks.
Cheers.
Cheers. Look at that. Oh, it's so gooey. It's very creamy.
Mm-hmm.
It's very savory. It's like just the right amount of saltiness for me.
Yeah, so you don't need to add extra salt because the cheese does the trick for you.
Cheese does it. I feel like the chorizo does it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You can add like hot sauce if you want it to be spicier, but who needs pasta? I do,
But not right now.
not right now.
This is amazing. That's perfect. That cauliflower is just right.
Yeah, just like a cool 4 to 5 minutes in the pot.
Yeah. Friends, you gotta make this at home. I feel like in the winter when I just want like real stick to my ribs
Mm-hmm.
kind of food, this is gonna be right on.
You want to cut down for the holidays a little bit? Maybe
Yep.
with cauliflower instead of pasta.
Keeping it light with a heavy cheese sauce.
Yeah.
This is fantastic. Oh man.
Oh, I'm so glad you like it.
You know what I would really like now? Something to wash this down with.
Oh, brilliant.
Friends, I'm stuffed. Now that we've had this fabulous snack, now it's time for a cocktail. Yay!
Yay! So what washes cheese down better than alcohol? Great combination.
These are two of my favorite things.
Me too! Me too! Funny you should mention.
So, in addition to the cocktail, you've brought another fun treat for us.
Sure. Yes, I did. Sure, I did. So I've been working at a Renaissance fair for the last few years. This is my first summer off in a while because I was training for the triathlon. I also hadn't had a weekend off in the summer since I was 18, which was many moons ago.
Which was merely just like a year or two ago.
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
But I wanted to know what it was like to sleep in on a Saturday, so I took the summer off, but I did retain a lot of my musical knowledge from the Ren Fair, which means tons of delightfully raunchy drinking songs.
Ooh! I am embarrassed to admit that I have never been to a Renaissance fair, so this is a brand new world for me.
So I have some lyrics here if you want to learn the lyrics as well, or you can just hear me sing them and while I make alcohols for you.
I think it's best if we hear you sing them while you make alcohols.
I can do that. So the drink I was gonna make is a classic Moscow Mule. It is the first drink I ever learned to make. I just spit all over myself when I did that. Like a classy broad. Because I was gifted one of the fantastic traditional copper Moscow Mule mugs for my 21st birthday.
Hey!
And traditionally, I don't think they're made with mint, but I like to put mint in them, and I've seen some versions that have mint in them. It's a little fresh. Let the mule get a little fresh with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's 3 different songs. You can tell me what kind of theme you're feeling.
Okay.
The first thing I'm gonna do is cut up these limes with that big old knife that we have.
Oh,
It's over here. There's a song called Johnny Be Fair that is about, thank you. It's very thin-skinned lime. Lots of juice.
Ooh.
That is about, doesn't really want to cut that lime, does it? Wow. It's a strong lime.
I like my limes like I like my men. Strong and tight.
And thin-skinned?
Yep. Still works.
Called Johnny Be Fair, the song. And it's about this girl who has all these suitors and all these lovers. Until she finds out that she's related to all of them.
What?
Yeah.
That took a turn I was not expecting.
Yeah. So, the first song is, starts something like this. Well, Johnny be fair and Johnny be fine, he wants me for to wed. And I would marry Johnny, but me father up and said, I'm sorry to tell your daughter what your mother never knew, but Johnny he's a son of mine, and so he's kin to you. Well, Willie be fair and Willie be fine, he wants me for to wed. And I would marry Willie, but me father up and said, I'm sorry to tell your daughter what your mother never knew, but Willie, he's a son of mine, and so he's kin to you. Well, Thomas be fair and Thomas be fine, he wants me for to wed. And I would marry Thomas, but me father up and said, I'm sorry to tell you, daughter, what your mother never knew, but Thomas, he's a son of mine, and so he's kin to you. So you can see where this is going.
I think I'm catching a theme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you never saw a lass so sad and sorry as I was. All the lads in town are kin, and father is the cause. If life should thus continue, I shall die a single miss, because as we all know, being single is the end of the world.
It's the worst. Aww.
I'm going to me mother and complain to her of this. So she goes to her mom. Her mom has some very sage advice. Oh, lass, have I not taught you to forgive and to forget? For if your father's sown his oats, well, still you needn't fret. You may be pa to all the single lads in town, but still, he's not the one who sired you, so marry who you will.
Yay! It has a happy ending.
It does. She gets to get laid at the end of it.
Oh, that made me so happy.
There's another like dirtier verse that ends it. That's something like, so to help me to decide, I'll take them all to bed. One be long and one be strong, and one can do it all. Oh, Thomas, he's my husband, and he comes at my call. Something like that.
That's cute. Oh.
Yeah. So we got, how much lime you want? How limey do you like your mules?
I don't know. I usually drink my vodka straight, so
Yeah.
I don't even know what's best.
We'll do one lime and we can squeeze some wedges into it. How about that?
Yes.
So, first order of business, we have some couple of lime wedges, and now we're going to grab a couple of mint leaves here.
Got our fresh mint.
Just going to stick my face in it.
Get it open.
It smells like toothpaste, but better.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's nice. So I always have a trouble when I buy the fresh herbs that they go bad basically the second I leave the store.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any tips or tricks you can give us on how to stop that from happening?
Well, either you make enough food or drinks that you use all of it at once, which is a lot. I also usually keep it towards the back of the fridge, like right near the, the dial that keeps it cooler, because I think it stays better longer if it's a little bit colder.
Oh.
Is what I found. I don't know if that's scientifically accurate or not. That's probably enough. I'd say probably about a very small handful of mint leaves to muddle. It depends on how minty you like it. Since it's not traditionally in a mule, I usually just do a little bit. I just think the mint and ginger goes really well.
Oh, it smells so good.
The most important thing about making this,
Yes.
you do not put the ginger beer in the cocktail shaker.
Oh, okay.
Because if you shake it up,
the bubbles, the fizzy.
will not end well for anyone.
I see. I see.
Especially not your cocktail shaker.
Pro tip.
Now comes the fun part.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're making devils today because we have a lovely large shot glass.
Yeah. Big old cup.
And I usually like a 2-shot mule anyway.
Okay.
2-shot mule, that's what they call me.
It's gonna be the new tagline. She's a 2-shot mule. Allie Dente.
Do you ever watch that show Lucifer?
No.
In that show, Lucifer always calls, like, the crappy guys, he always calls them 2 pump chumps.
Okay.
It's like, 2 pumps and you're done. It's funny. Anyway, I'm gonna see myself out. Wipe off. Brilliant. Okay, make sure I got all my lyrics because I'm going to muddle this. And I can sing you another song.
Ooh.
I'm just going to muddle this with the end of a spoon. If you don't have a fancy muddler, you could absolutely use like the end of a spoon or even the top of a spoon. And this is just kind of to get the vodka infused with all those flavors of lime and get some of the juice released. And crushing the mint leaves a little bit helps release those oils too. Generally a muddling stick is what we want to use, but yeah.
Look at that. Producer Clifton for the
I
win.
did some slow motion.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, get in there. Yeah, crush it. Gotta release those oils. Get those juices out. You gotta flush it. You gotta work it hard.
Smush it real good.
Yeah, salt and pepper's gonna come for us for that.
Please.
Ooh, please.
Please, right
do.
now.
Yes.
Okay. Now we have muddling. Here's our nice mug of ice. Fill this up here. Ice goes everywhere, as per usual.
If your kitchen is full out clean by the end of this, you've done it wrong.
Really. Would you like to do the shaking?
Oh, okay.
I
Thanks.
present to you the shaker.
Thank you. Am I doing this right?
Good ass shaking. I'm gonna grab more ice while you're doing that.
Excellent. It's so cold. It's so cold.
That's probably pretty good.
Excellent.
I have returned with the ice.
Oh, good.
Run your hands under warm water.
That is gently across my body. Good.
It's a nice chilled drink, so it's good for hot summer days.
Yes. So we're putting the ice in our fancy mugs.
I'll use more ice.
Oh, more ice.
Well, I don't know. It depends on how much of the vodka you make. We'll probably need less ice because we use double shots.
Uh-huh. These are also very large mugs.
They are the copper mugs are nice and large. Yeah, that'll work. Grand reveal.
Ooh. Ah.
There should be more coming out of this, but I think the ice is probably in the way. Little by little. And it's topped off with the ginger beer.
Oh.
So if you want to grab one of these bottles and pull the top off here.
Let's see. It says it's a twist off. It is!
Yay!
Whew.
Alrighty, well, the mugs are about half full. You can't really see, but they're about half full, which is fine because with vodka in it, it's pretty strong. You don't want any more in
Yeah, that's
than that in it
quite a bit.
anyway. That's probably good.
Oh, it's so fizzy.
It's so fancy. Do we need another one?
Maybe.
My hands are weak.
Oh, yeah, we do.
I have weak hands.
Oh, no.
I have weak hands.
No. Strong hands. Strong like bull.
I like mine nice and limey, so what I'm going to do is...
A little bit extra, that fresh lime there.
I'm going to squeeze one into each of ours. All fancy like. And then I'm just going to...
A garnish.
Probably, yeah. Ooh. Cut a little slit in it, all fancy like.
Uh-huh. Look at that. Oh, the presentation.
I don't know, it's kind of satisfying to be like, oh yeah, this looks good and it tastes good. And then just a couple extra sprigs of mint in the glass.
I do enjoy a fresh herb.
I always like things with fresh herbs in them because they're just not too sweet. Add a little something, something. Turner! We has mules.
Look at it. Thank you so much. Cheers.
A toast to bread, because without bread, we could not make toast. Thank you. I'll shoot myself out again.
Very nice. Very nice. Ooh.
The mint makes a difference.
Yes. That is cool and refreshing.
You can see the steam coming off it.
It feels like a hearty beverage, but it's not like too vodka-y.
Yeah, and even though there's a couple shots of it in it, the ginger takes some of the bite of the vodka out. So
Yeah.
a little dangerous.
Oh. It's very light. It's not too sweet. Yeah. Sitting on a hot summer
Sitting
day.
on a porch, clutching my pearls.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Oh, do you have another song for us?
I
while we
do.
enjoy this?
One of my favorites, and there's many lyrics, so I brought along the lyrics. I hope that's acceptable.
Yes.
It's called The Lusty Young Smith.
Yeah.
Already into it, I could tell.
Mm-hmm.
It was about this lusty young smith who is on his way to work. Is working hard, and he meets this young woman who walks into his shop.
Uh-huh.
A lusty young smith had his vice stood a-filing, his hammer laid by, but his forge still aglow. When to him a buxom young damsel came smiling, and asked if to work at her forge he would go. Get it? Get it? Yeah. With a jingle bang, jingle bang, jingle bang, jingle, with a jingle bang, jingle, hi-ho. I will, said the smith, and they went off together. Along to the young damsel's forge they did go. They stripped to go to it, 'twas hot work and hot weather. She kindled a fire, and she soon made him blow. You can do the jingle bang with me if you want. With a jingle bang, jingle bang, jingle bang, jingle. With a jingle bang, jingle, hi-ho. There's a hi-ho at the end. You say hi-ho. Her husband, she said, no good work could afford her. His strength and his tools were worn out long ago. Womp womp. The smith said, well, mine are in very good order, and now I am ready my skill for to show. With a jingle bang, jingle bang, jingle bang, jingle. With a jingle bang, jingle, hi-ho. Red hot grew his iron, as both did desire, as he was too wise not to strike 'twell 'twas so. 'Cause, you know, when you're in the mood, quoth she, what I get out of the fire, then prithee strike hard and redouble the blow. The jingle bang, jingle bang, jingle bang, jingle, with a jingle bang, jingle, hi-ho. 6 times did his iron by vigorous heating from soft in her forge in a minute or so, and as often was hardened, still beating and beating, but each time that it softened, it hardened more slow.
This song just gets better and better.
With a jingle bang, jingle bang, jingle bang, jingle, with a jingle bang, jingle, hi-ho. The smith then would go, quoth the dame full of sorrow, oh, what would I give could my husband do so? Good lad, with your hammer come hither tomorrow, but pray can't you use it once more ere you go? With a jingle bang, jingle bang, jingle, with a jingle bang, jingle, hi-ho. The end.
Yay!
Cheers.
Woo! Well, thank you again so much for being with us here today.
Thank you for having me.
Please tell everyone at home where they can find you on the various social medias.
Well, I am Allie_Dente, at Allie_Dente on Instagrams. And as of this afternoon, I will also have a Facebook page for that for Instagram. I'm in the process of putting a nice one together, which will also be Allie Dente. Allie is spelled A-L-L-I-E, Dente.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, friends at home, make sure you try that cauliflower and cheese, which is absolutely delicious. Make these Moscow mules. They are also incredible. Sing a happy song to yourself, friends.
Yeah.
And cheers again.
Cheers again.
We'll see you next time.